This is the WWE Raw November 4th, 2024 full show results video which takes place at Mohammed Abdo Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Judgment Day, consisting of Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Dominic Mysterio, make their entrance. Liv gets on the mic and says the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour is over, so now it's the Liv Morgan World Tour. She beat Tiffany Stratton, she took Rhea Ripley out in a way where she's going to be gone for a very, very long time, then she traveled halfway around the globe to beat Nia Jax and win the WWE Women's Crown Jewel Championship. She says she's done everything she said she would and has thus proven herself to be the greatest women's champion of all time. Enter Jade Cargill, followed closely thereafter by Bianca Belair, and they get on the mic and tell Liv and Raquel that if they want a piece of the tag champs, now's their chance. Morgan prevaricates before trying to sow distrust between Jade and Bianca on the basis that they both think they're the best, which seems misguided, but I'm just a simple live blogging woman, what do I know? Belair doubles down on offering the match and Liv and Raquel start making excuses and Adam Pearce storms down yelling for everybody to calm down, which is weird because they've all been pretty sedate through this segment, but okay. Liv taunts Bianca more and gets slapped for her trouble, which now makes Adam seem justified, and he tells Liv she can't keep getting away with this and there will be a battle royal to determine her #1 contender, which Jade and Bianca will both be in, and it starts right now. Then we saw a #1 contenders battle royal for the WWE Women's World Championship, and the result of this match was Io Sky won the match, last eliminating Lyra Valkyria to become the #1 contender to the WWE Women's World Championship. New Day are interviewed backstage and Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston bicker over exactly what caused them to lose the #1 contenders match last weekend. A Wyatt 6 VHS promo interrupts about snakes and false prophets, and they have Miz with duct tape over his mouth. Miz begs off explaining that he's not with Final Testament and he's willing to forget about all of it, but Uncle Howdy gets in his ear to explain that they don't care about Final Testament. They want him to crawl on his belly through thorn and thistle, burdened with the pain he's inflicted on others while he begs and pleads for mercy until he returns to the ground. The next match happened between New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, versus War Raiders, Eric and Ivar, and the result of this match was War Raiders won the match by pinfall with War Machine on Xavier Woods. Sami Zayn makes his entrance and gets on the mic and he begins his promo in Arabic before switching to English to talk about how proud he is to be in front of his people speaking their language on TV. But that's not why he came out here tonight. He came out here to address what happened with him and the bloodline at Crown Jewel. Enter main event Jey Uso, and before Sami says whatever he's got to say, he wants to thank him but he needs him to be 100%. Was kicking Roman Reigns an accident? Enter Big Jim Uso and he says everybody saw what they saw. Sami kicked Roman in the face on purpose, he's pissed, Reigns is pissed, and Jey should be pissed too because none of them can trust Zayn. Sami reminds Jim that he's the one that brought him into this family first, and the second things went bad between him and Roman, what did he do? He kicked him in the face and then he kicked Jey in the face. Are we really gonna worry about Sami's loyalty? Jim protests that he's not the bad guy here. Zayn says he doesn't get it, he doesn't hate Jim and he's not saying he's the bad guy, but he makes bad decisions. Sami says he came out at Crown Jewel for one guy, he wanted to make sure Jey was okay, that's it, and for a minute there, he can admit it, when it was the four of them it felt like old times. It felt pretty damn special, but that's all it lasted, was 1 minute, and he's not doing this again, he's not gonna have his loyalty questioned, he's not doing it again. He tells Jey he loves him and he's sorry, but he's not doing this again, and he's out. Zayn leaves and Jey cuts him off on the mic, asking him to come to SmackDown and talk it out like family. Jim says he's not family and Jey puts his hand on his shoulder and says he was wrong. Just because Sami's not blood related, doesn't mean he's not family, he is family. Right now, Jey sees Jimmy Uso, he sees Jey Uso, and he sees Sami Uso, and he hopes to see his brother on Friday at SmackDown. Backstage, Seth Rollins is interviewed and he says he's here tonight because of his resume, and he wants to tell us who Bronson Reed is. Bronson is as advertised, he took everything Seth had and kept getting up, and he's sure they'll do the dance again, but right now he's got gold on his mind. And tonight he's gonna face off with 3 dudes for a shot at Gunther, and he knows exactly who he is, a visionary, a revolutionary, Seth freaking Rollins. The next match happened between Chad Gable versus Dragon Lee, and the result of this match was Dragon Lee defeated Chad Gable by pinfall with Operation Dragon. Backstage, Imperium are interviewed and Ludwig Kaiser complains about wasting Gunther's time with questions about the undeserving Cody Rhodes, but the ring general cuts him off to say Cody deserves it and he was the better man. Gunther talks about the 4-way tonight and puts Seth Rollins, Damien Priest, and Sheamus over before saying after Saturday, it's on both of them to do better. In the main event of the show, we saw a number 1 contenders match between Damien Priest versus Dominic Mysterio versus Seth Rollins versus Sheamus for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Bronson Reed interferes in the match. He hits a Death Valley driver on Damien, and one on Sheamus as well. 747 splash on Priest and Sheamus. 747 splash on Seth Rollins through the announce desk. In the end, Priest catches Dominic Mysterio with South of Heaven and gets the pinfall, and become the number 1 contender to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Post-match, Gunther comes to the ring to square up with his next challenger and the show goes off the air.